Hello, friends. It's Mrs.Z. It's a problem set, grade 5, mission 1, lesson 16. Okay, um, so there's a problem 1. Mr. Fry distributed $126 allowance equally among his 4 children for their weekly allowance. How much money did each child receive? How much money? So each child receive. So there is um, 4 children, and they needed to get some of that money. So that means that we will do 126 divided into 4 children, and we will have m as how much money will each child receive. So we can use a standard algorithm, or we can think about dividing with maybe area model or bond depend. But let's try first the standard algorithm. So $126 will be shared with 4 children. So if he tried to divide $100 equally, he needs to regroup that because he couldn't give just 100 to one child. That everybody else will get nothing. So he regrouped the 100 into the tens. So you'll get 10 tens and 2 more. That will be 12 tens. So now he could give each of his children three $10 bill. 3 times 4 is 12. So he will distribute all the tens. So he won't have anything but $6 to share. Oops, sorry. I mean this here, and then this needs to be like, I like arrow, so hold on. Okay, yeah, so it should be arrow down. I like to use arrow. Tells you no matter, even if I bring down the 0, I still have to work it out. How many groups, how much he can share. $6 equally 4 kids. He can give each $1. 1 times 4 is 4, and now there is 6 minus 4 is $2 left. Okay, but the problem is now he has $2 and he has 4 children. Okay, so that means that he will need to regroup this $2 into the tens. So I'm going to put the decimal point. I could do even here. Okay, and then bring down the 0. So instead of $2, he will have 20 dimes, 20 tenths. And then 5 times 4 is 20. He can give a $0.50 to each child. And when you do 20 minus 20, is going to be a 0. So he won't have nothing left. I didn't want to go into the paper down. So I just do on a side subtraction. So we know that this is M is $31 and five dimes. We can also say that this 5 dimes is a 50 cents. So each child will get $31.50. That's one way of seeing it. Another way is if you use area model of division. Let's see how it could work. So I'm gonna leave open rectangle. I have this, and on the side I will have 126, and then I will subtract how much I shared. Okay, so 4 times what is really close to 126. So that is 30 because 4 times 3 is 12, and times 10 is this represents 10, so 30, 4 30s is 120. I can close area and then I can extend. Now I do have I subtract how much I share, 120. There is $6 left. So 4 times what makes 6? Only 4 times 1 will give you 4. I can close that. But then when I subtract 4, I have 2 left. But then I will change that 2 into the 20. It into 20. I'm going to change that into 20 tenths. So when I think $2 at 20 tenths, I can share equally into 5 tenths. And if you know what 5 tenths is, 5 tenths, if I give each 5 tenths equals 0.5. Okay, so each will, or 5 out of 10 pieces. So that each will get half more dollar. So now you can see that this is 4 times half a dollar is $2, and I share all that $126 equally, and that is the answer, 31.5, 31 and a half a dollar. Okay, how much did each child receive? Each child receive 31. Okay, I will put $31.50. Okay, hope that makes better understanding your choices of doing division. John, the oldest child, paid his siblings to do his chores. If John pays his allowance equally to his brother and two sisters, which is 3 kids, well, brother and 2 sisters means 3 kids, how much money will each of his siblings have received in all? So he gave all this money to his 3 siblings. So what that means that we need to do that his share is $31.50 divided into the 3. Okay, and that will be the how much he will do for chores. I put S for siblings, so each sibling will get that much money. So let me make room here to see if I can do standard algorithm. So 31 and 5. I'm gonna do like first divided into 3. So 3 tenths can be equally shared. So 3 tenths each of his sibling can get 1/10. 1 times 3 is 3. When I subtract and get nothing left, then he will have $1. But he couldn't share $1 equally into 3 siblings, so he will go and regroup that dollar together with. He won't make any, so he can't share equally. he can share equally $1 with 3 friends. So he can make 0 groups of it. Okay. Now, once I forgot to explain to you, when you do and bring down the number, it means you have to ask yourself, can I share that equally? I can't, so I can make only 0 groups of 3 if I have only $1, so I can make that. So then after you've put the 0 that you can make 0 groups, then you are allowed to bring down. So 0 times 3 is 0. When you subtract 0, you can think this as a remainder. So now you are allowed to bring down the 5, and you think now about having 15 dimes, and he could give each 5 dimes. So 5 times 3 is 15, and then he will not have anything left. He will have 0. So each of his sibling will get $10 and half, or $10.50. So right now the S is $10.50. Okay, but the problem with that is, if they say, if how much money will each of his siblings have received in all? So now when they will get from their dad $31.50, and then they will get $10.50 from his brother. So then that's how much money they will get. So we needed to add $31 and 50 or 5 dimes, and then $10 and 5 dimes. So when we add that, we're going to write decimal first, and then plus value. 5 plus 5 is 10. Remember, 1, we made $1. Okay, 1 plus 1 is 2. 3 plus 1 is 4. So each of his sibling will have $42. So now how we can write it down? How much money will each of his siblings have received in all? Each of his siblings will receive $42 in all. Okay, so with the ones that their dad gave them, and plus brother, this they got from the brother for chores, and this was for from their dad. Okay, that was number 1. Let's see what would be a number 2. Okay, all right. Ava is 23 centimeters tall. Can we make it bigger? All right. Wait. Okay. Ava is 23 centimeters taller than Olivia. So she's taller than Olivia, and Olivia is half the height of Lucas. Okay, half a height than Lucas. If Lucas is 1.78 meters tall, How tall are Ava and Olivia? Express their heights in centimeters. So let's pretend that these are the people. All right. I think it was. I have the. Okay. Alice, one taller than Olivia. Olivia is a half than Lucas. Okay, so let's if Lucas is Olivia is taller than Olivia. Olivia, okay, half of Lucas. Okay, so let's pretend they're all. I'm gonna make horizontal instead of vertical. I was thinking to do the vertical, but that's okay. Taller Olivia. So if this is Olivia, let's pretend this is Olivia, like vertical. All right. This is for Olivia. Yeah. Okay. And then Ava is 23 centimeters taller than Olivia. So she is 25 centimeters taller. Okay, so there you go. There, if they are, so this is Olivia, and this is Olivia plus 23. So this is 23 centimeters, and this is Olivia. So Olivia plus 23 is Ava. Okay, now and Olivia is a half the height of Lucas. So she is a half of Lucas. So Lucas is twice than her. So Lucas is twice Olivia. So here you go. You can see if you so this is thinking if this is Olivia, Olivia is half of the height of Lucas, so Lucas is twice Olivia. Okay, and this is Lucas. Okay, so this is Lucas, this is Olivia, and this is Ava. In terms of so now they gave us how much is Lucas. So they gave us that Lucas is 1 whole meter and 78 centimeters. So now we know that Olivia is half of that. That's what, so I'm going to write Olivia also here. I like to put that. So in the terms of, if you know Olivia, Lucas is twice Olivia, and Ava is Olivia plus 23 centimeters. Since they didn't give us Olivia value, they gave us what Lucas value is, and we know that we need to divide 1 and 78 meters into 2 parts. So we're going to make the decimal point. We can share equally 1. We can make 0 groups if we have 1, 0 groups of 2 if we have 1. But then if we regroup and get 17 tenths, we can make here 2 times 2 times 8 is 16, so we can share 16 tenths, and then 1/10 will be left over. We'll bring down the 8 hundredths. Now we have 18 hundredths, and we know that is 2 times 9 is 18. When we subtract, we have no leftover. So we know now that Olivia is 89 centimeters, or cm, or 0.89 meters. Okay, if you have 0.85 meters, that is same as 85 centimeters. So which we can now see that if we add this 0.89, Olivia is 0.89, and then this one here is a 0.89, or because Ava is 23 centimeters, we're going to think this to be 85 centimeters. So find Ava, we need to add 85 plus 23. So that would be 108 centimeters. When we think about that 108 centimeters, the 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So in here you have 100. So if you look this, you can say 108 divided by 100. So that is 1 whole meters and 8 centimeters. If you think in terms of meter. So this is Ava, and or in centimeters. So let's see, express their height in centimeters. Okay, so now we can say that Ava is equals, remember, 108 centimeter. Olivia is only 89 centimeters. And then Lucas is 178 centimeters. 178 centimeters. Oops, you can't see that, guys. Ava is 108 centimeters, Olivia is 89 centimeters, and Lucas is 178 centimeters. If you see that, how that looks in a metric system is the same thing. Now, you know, here is you have 100, so decimal going to go here. Here you don't have a hole, so decimal going to be here. And here you have 100, that means you have a whole meter, so decimal going to go here. So if I look their value in meters, it would be, Ava would be 1 and 1.08 or 1 and 8 hundredths, and Olivia is 0.89 meters. Oh, this is meters, sorry, this is meters. I messed up that. This centimeters, 108 centimeters is 1.0 meters. So that's meters. And Lucas is 178 meters. So if you look centimeters and the meters, that's how is the values, just in case you needed to know. And so that was problem 2. Okay, me see what else. Problem 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'll try B a little more quicker. It's too long. It's getting too long. Okay, let's see. Problem 3. Mr. Hoover can buy a computer with a down payment of $510 and 8 monthly payments of $35.75. If he pays cash for a computer, the cost is $699.99. How much money will he save if he pays cash for the computer instead of paying for it monthly payments? Monthly payments. Okay, so let's see if we find expressions. Total money for the computer, the total money for would be 8 months times payment is $35.75 plus he will need to pay the down payment, and down payment is one-time thing, $510. So the first thing we needed to find how much per month he will need to do, and then plus the so let's do the multiplication. 75, we're going to use standard algorithm. So 5 times 8 is 40. Remember 4. 7 times 8 is 56. Plus 4 is 60. Remember 6. Okay, 5 times 8 is 40. Plus 6 is 46. Remember 4. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 4 is 28. So we have the hundreds. So in answer, we'll have hundreds too. So this would be T equals, this is $286 plus 510. Now I can add this all together. 286 plus 510, 697. So T equals he will need to pay for these 8 months $796. And if he pays cash, he will need it to pay about 700. So about $100 more he will do if he take that computer on payments. So let's see how exactly is. So the total money that he needs to pay was 796, but if he pay cash, he will pay $699.99. So if you are looking into the how we're going to this $796 could be written as a decimal by adding decimal point and putting 0 for the dimes and pennies. So if the total money that he needed to pay did not have any change. So, but now he needs to give 9 pennies. So he doesn't have any or dimes. So we need to regroup having this 5, and that will become 10. Okay, and then this I will regroup to make this 10 as well. So when you change the bigger value to the smaller, you get 10 pieces of the smaller value. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 9 is 0. Decimal point. You cannot subtract 5 minus 9, so you have to regroup that, and then become 10 plus 5 is 15. So now 15 minus 9 is 6. And 8 minus 9 doesn't work. You have to regroup again. Make 10 plus 8 is 18. Double 9 is 18. So it is. So he will lose, if he doesn't have a cash, he will lose about $96.01. That's how much so let's see how much money will he save. So if he pay cash, he will save, if he pay cash, he will save $96.01. Okay, save. If he will save $96.01. If he pays cash, computer for cash, pays the computer for cash, or if he buys computer for cash. Okay, that was number 3. Okay, let's move number 4. Brandon mixed $6. No, it's pounds. Sorry, mixed 6.83 pounds of pretzels with 3.57 pounds of popcorn. Okay, so popcorn and pretzels. After filling up 6 bags, then that were the same size with the mixture, he had 35 pounds left. What was the weight of each bag? Use the table diagram and show your calculation. So Brandon mixed 6.83 pounds of pretzels with 3.57 pounds of popcorn. Okay, so let's pretend this is, okay, so this is 6.83 pounds pretzels, and then this is 3.57 pounds of popcorn. Now he will put this all into 6 bags with the mix, and then he had 35 pounds left. So let's see if this is left. Okay, so 0.35 is left, and then rest is needed to be divided into the 6 parts. So we make a half, and then make this into 3 parts, and this also into 3 parts. So these are the representation of 6 bags. Okay, So, so we don't know how much will be in each bag. So that's the question. But the bags are equal. So we know that leftover is 0.35 pounds. Okay, so let's start. Step one is to add to find the total. 6 and 83 plus decimal point first. 3 and 57 underline, sign and line. Okay, so 3 and 7 is 10. Remember 1. Okay, regroup 8, 9 plus 5 is 14. Decimal point in a line. Remember 1. Okay, you're going to make 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 10. So that is all together. This is 10 and 40 pounds. Okay, and it was question mark that also. So now this is all that. This is also, but we need to subtract leftover, this leftover, to find how much is in the 6 bags. Okay, so here we're gonna see 6 bags, question mark each. Okay, so now we're going to subtract 0 and 35. And then because we can't say 0 minus 5, we're going to regroup and make that 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 3 minus 3 is 0. We can 0 minus. So the whole together is 10 in 10.05 or pounds. 10 whole pounds and 5 hundredths of the pound. Okay, so now this needs to be divided into 6. So we're going to divide into 6. Okay, 10. Okay, our group is 6. We need to, so if I have 1, I can make any groups of 6. If I have 10, I can make one group. 1 times 6 is 6. When I subtract, I got 4 left over. I bring down the 0, or I'm going to regroup the wholes into the tenths. Now I have 40 tenths. 6 times what is really close to 40. 6 times 6 is 36. So that will give you 40 minus 36 is 4. You can also regroup if you want. So that will be 4 again. Now bring down the 5, and then you will have 45 hundredths now. So 45 hundredths, 6 times what is really close to, don't forget to put a decimal. I did already. So 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 7 is 42. So 6 times 7 is 42. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So now I have left over, and I'm dividing decimals, so I have to keep going. It's okay if I add a 0 and bring down 0. It seems like I'm going to regroup now hundreds into the thousands. So I'm going to have now 30 thousandths. 6 times what is really close to 30. It's exactly perfect. 6 times 5 is 30. So now I have no leftover, and this is my answer: 1 whole pound and 675 out of thousands of the next pound. So here you go. What was the weight of each bag? Okay, the weight of each bag, the weight of each bag is 1 whole and 675 pounds. Okay, we can round that, or about 1.5 pound. Okay, because if I round 1.6, you can round to the about 1.5, or about 2 pounds. It's up to you, but I'd rather go down than up. It could be also, or about 2 pounds. That's estimate, but this is exact answer. So 1 bag, this one is 1.675. We can round to the nearest whole pound, or to the nearest tenth of the pound. It's up to you. All right, guys, if they ask you to do so. Okay, this was number 4. We only have number 5, and we are done. All right, let's see what number 5 is giving us. Okay, I'm a bit tired now. I'm going to drink water. Okay, problem 5. The bakery bought 4 bags of flour containing 3.5 kilogram each. 0 and 475 kilogram of flour is needed to make a batch of muffins, and 0 and 65 kilograms is needed to make a loaf of bread. So this much for the muffins, and this much for a loaf of bread. And then he bought 4 bags, and each bag contains 3.5 kilograms. Okay, so lots of information. All right, so if 4 batches of muffins and 5 loaves of bread are baked, how much flour will be left? Give your answer in kilograms. So the first when we think about is, if we have 4 bags, I'm going to let's have this. All right, so that is okay, so half of the half here. 4 bags, each is 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. So you can add bags total flour Okay, total flour. Okay, so we can add or we can multiply. So 3.5 and 3.5 is 7. So if I look this, that's 7 and this is 7. So I know that this is equals 14, 14 kilograms. 14 kilograms. That's when you take a logic. 3.5 and 3.5 makes 7, and 7 and 7 makes 14. If you like to do standard, you can say, okay, 3.5 times 4. 4 times 5 is 20. Remember 2. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14. We have only tenths, so it shows tenths in our answer, and that is, oops, 14. I'm sorry, you didn't see it. I said 4 times 5 is 20, 0, remember 2. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14. We only have tenths, so they show it in our answer, so that's matching, correct? Okay, now let's see what the next. It says, if 4 batches of muffins and 5 loaves of bread are baked, how much flour will be left? So now you have 4 and 5. So if I create open rectangle, I can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so here is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, once again, each of these is 0.47 for muffins. So this is 0.475, 0.475, 475. Okay, and then so 4 batches of muffins. So that's it. This, and then 5 loaves of bread will be this here. Okay, so bread is okay. 0.65 for bread. Okay, 0.65, 0.65. Okay, so now guys, you have a choice. It's if you are secure in addition, you can just simple go and add this 4 and this and you add and you will have correct answer how much flour did he spend on so that's one way of finding multiplication is multiple addition, but if we are practicing standard algorithm, let's do that. So we need a 0 and 475 times 4. So we have thousands in our answer, so it's going to show 4 times 5 is 20. I remember 2. 4 times 7 is 28. And 2 is 30. I remember 3. 4 times 4 is 16. Plus 3 is 19. Remember 1. And then is, okay, so 0 times 4 is 0, plus 1 is 1. So now I did that as also. So now I can see it here as I had tens and hundreds and tens, hundreds, thousands, tens, hundreds, thousands. The decimal goes right here. So it's 1 kilo, 1.9 kilogram is that all it, or how much flour for. So this one is about 1.9 kilogram. Okay. And now we're going to do the for bread. These were muffins, okay. Okay. And bread is 5 times 0, 0.65 times 5. All right, so let's do that. 5 times 5 is 25. Remember 2. 6 times 5 is 30 plus 2 is 32. 2, remember 3. 5 times 0 is 0 plus 3 is 3. So I have hundreds here, tens and hundreds, tens and hundreds. My decimal point is, so that is 3 for bread, 3 and 25 kilograms. So 3 and 25 kilograms for bread. Okay, now when we add all this together, we will find what is total of for bread and muffins. So I need a space, so I'm going to just do this. I'm going to add here 3 and 25. So then it will help me to add. I could put 0 there, it doesn't really matter. But if you want me to see it, it's empty chair 4. Remember 1. So that would be decimal point 5, 5 and 15, 5 and 150 thousandths of kilogram, or 5 and 15. So now the total was 14 of the whole bread. This is how much flour will be left. So we need it now, and one more step is to take this, how much he used from that. So 14 kilograms he had. I'm going to add just to 2 zeros, and I'm going to subtract 5 whole kilograms and 15 out of 15 hundredths out of the next kilogram. So subtract, I'm going to draw lines. And then I can say 0 minus, or I have to regroup first 3. That becomes 10, and then this will become, so 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 1 is 8, and I can do 3 minus 5. I have to regroup the tens, make that 13. So I have 13 minus 5 is 8. So now you got how much flour he has left. Okay. And that is final answer. That is final. So how much flour will be left? I don't have room to write it, but I already write left. So make sure that you got this is connected to the question: how much flour will be left? Okay, guys, that was 5. Now, but there's B to the flour. So now the remaining flour is stored in bins that hold 3 kilogram each. How many bins will be needed to store the flour? So imagine now that this 8 and 85 kilogram, 8 and 85 kilogram that is left needed to divide into groups of 3 kilograms to find how much will be in each bin. Okay, so in each bin, so we needed to divide equally 8 and 85. Okay, so if we say how many 3's are in 8, we can say, oh, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, so only 2 times. So the decimal gonna stay right above because this is a whole group. 2 times 3 is 6. When I subtract, I have 2 left. I'll bring down the 8, and now I have 28. 3 times what is 28? 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 9 is 27. And subtract, you get 1 left. Now I have last number to bring down, which is 5 together with 1/10. I have 1500. So 3 times what is 1500? 3 times 5 is 15. So you can share 500s in each, have nothing left. So each bin will have 2 and 95 kilograms. So it will be so bin okay, hold on. 3 kilograms. The remaining flour is stored in bins that hold 3 kilogram each. So if I divide into the 3 kilograms, I will have 2 whole groups of 3 kilograms, and then I will have 95 extra. So what that means, we are dividing to see how many bins he will need. He will have one bin that is 3 kilogram. Then he will have another bin that is also 3 kilogram. Okay, so that's 2 bins. That 2 bins. And then he will need a third bin, but third bin will not be full. It will have a little bit in it. So this will be just okay. So if I did that correctly, guys, and then the remaining flour is shared in bins that hold 3 kilograms each. How many bins will be needed to store the flour? Okay, 3 and 3, 6. So that would be so that means these two will hold 6 kilograms, and here will be 8 minus 6 is 2 and 85 kilograms. It will not be full kilograms. So what that means this is about 3 bins. 3 bins needed. Okay. So this is really tricky for the students to understand it, and I hope that this makes sense to the answer. All right. Okay. Because very often they don't understand that this is a remaining bins 3 in each, but you're sharing 8 and 85, so you can put 3 kilogram here, 3 kilogram, that's 6, and then you have 2 and 85 kilogram here. This one won't be the full, it would be a little bit empty of it, while this will have all. And then that's why this all represents 2 whole bins and 95 full of the next bin. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay, how many bins will be needed to store the flour? Needed there will be there will be 3 bins needed to store the flour. Okay, I'm positive that is correct. I hope that this was not too long. You can watch it in the steps, but I like to have all questions at once, so together. So in case you wanna, you have time to look them all over. Okay, that was Mrs.Z, and it was problem set, grade 5, mission 1, lesson 16. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Ciao.